I'm civil engineer from Government Polytechnic Kottagudam. My subject is integrated waste management. Today I'm going to discuss about the uh, collection, transportation of biomedical waste. So in this we have already discussed about the uh, bio biomedical definition of the biomedical and the impact of the biomedical waste on environment and health also. So um, impact how it will be impacted means the biomedical waste is nothing but the waste which is coming from the hospitals, nursing homes, clinics, and diagnosis research centers, physio and chemical research centers. So from all those which are coming from those places, those it is called as a biomedical waste. So biomedical waste, how it will be impact on the environment means it will the waste will contains of different human and animal tissues, um, and also the blood content, and from animals means it's from the veterinary hospital. So that it will consist of cotton dressing materials and also syringes. So different types of waste, which that waste, if we have send it into the open dumping, then it will impact to the environment. So it will impact to air, it will impact to earth, it will impact to the water. So we can see for the soil and water, and also the air will impact. Air, how it will, if we use the incineration process, on-site process, when there itself, there it will impact the environment. So environment, you that at the time of the incineration it will generate, because of presence of heavy metals like phosphate, sulfate, and nitrate, carbon. All these will be presence, because it is from also the it will hospital means it consists of medicines also. Those medicines will prepared from all these chemicals. So the characteristics of the those waste will be different. So we have to see the composition and also the composition of the waste. Then only we can survey over the environment. So for that they have WHO was created one organizations to look after all these biomedical waste. So as per the rules of present 2016 rules, they have kept one blue book. So by means of that book they can follow those rules all over the world. So the first of all, the state will look after the thing, and other that followed by the districts. So for that they have had the CP, um, can say common biomedical waste um, management, like that they have one organization, and the HFC common HCF common health facility. So they will look of all those um, uh, all those checking of all those waste. So for this they will annual report had to be prepared by the hospitals, so that they how much they are getting the how much efficient they are doing, and also they have to record all the uh, um, incoming and also outgoing the data of waste. So those all are recorded in those books. So like that, they have to prepare the annual report and they have to send to the CMW, uh, common HCF. So this is all we have seen in the previous um, topics. Now we have to see about the collection and transportation. So biomedical waste, having some rules we have set. So as per the 2016, they have categorized into four categories for collection. So for collection of the waste, they have categorized into the four categories. So how they are, we will see. Biomedical waste rules, according to the 2016, the biomedical waste generated from the healthcare HCF into four categories based on the segregation pathway and color code. So they have segregated the waste, and that waste have given one code, color code given to them. So that the color code say that waste belong to those. So how we have to do for the treatment process, it will be easy to them. So why they have dividing into the colors for the treatment, it make it easy for the treatment. To make it easy, they are dividing into the colors. So various types of biomedical waste are further assigned to each one of the categories. So every color have one type of waste. So that was categorized like that. So the first four types are yellow, yellow category, red category, white category, and blue category. So here, yellow again it was divided. So yellow is nothing but all those categories, nothing but they are the containers. Yellow container and red container, white container, and the black container. So like that, they have categorized into the containers. In that, they have to store the waste. So yellow, all yellow contains all yellow color contents of human anatom, anatomical waste, human tissues, you can say. In that, what we can get, human tissues we can get it, organs of organs, body parts, and fetus below the viability below period, means at the time of the operations. uh, uh, all these they will be having those. So here, in this, we can get it, human tissues we get it, organs will get it, yellow color box will get all these human anatomical waste. So next, animal anatomical waste, experimental animal care cases. So some experiments will be going on, that will be maximum done on the animals. So, like that, in animal care cases will be going on. Body parts of the animals, organs of the animals, tissues of the animals, including the waste generated from the animals, used in experiments or testing in veterinary hospitals or colleges or animal houses. So, all the research or experiments which are gone through the animals, all that will be stored in the yellow box. So next comes to the soil waste. So items contaminated with the blood. So if you cut it or if you done any operation, so all these will be contaminated with the blood. So body fluids like dressings. So dressings are nothing but the doctor wear those dresses, or the patient wear those dresses at the time of the operations. Cotton swabs and bags containing residual discarded blood and blood components. So whatever with the uh, time of the operations or at the time of the accident, what we wore, which contaminated with the blood, all those soiled waste are put in that yellow container. So discarded or expired medicines also we will put it into the uh, pharmaceutical waste like an antibiotic. So if it is in the uh, in the you can say for the hospitals which are having the some medicines, what it will be, the expiry date will be there, medical shop will be there, those will containing the yellow color box, that all the waste are discarded into the which are expiry date for medical waste, you can say. So those will be kept in the yellow box. And also chemical waste, chemicals used in production of biological and also used biological and used are discarded disinfections. So if you are using for any disinfections these waste, so those will be put it in the yellow color container. So we have seen human anatomical waste and animal anatomical waste and the soil waste and the expired medicines and the chemical waste. All these will kept in the yellow color container. So here again, it having the chemical liquid waste. So liquid waste generated due to use of chemicals in production of biological liquid from laboratories and floor washings, cleanings, housekeepings, and disinfecting activities. So wherever the we are using the chemicals which are for the production of biological or for cleaning of the floors, so all the disinfected, where there is a disinfected only we will use the chemical liquid. So those will be put it in the chemical liquid. So the chemicals which are using for the cleaning purpose, those chemical liquid waste also will be put it in the yellow color container. So microbiological, biotechnology and other clinical laboratories waste. So some laboratories we will see for the testing. So they will contain the blood bags, laboratory cultures, stocks, or specimens of our microorganisms, human and animal cell cultures used in research. So whatever be using in the research process, so they will but they have to put those microorganisms as a fresh in conditions. For that purpose they require some chemicals. So all those experimental research which is there in the biological biotechnical laboratory, they have to put in the yellow color container. So all these which are we have seven human anatomical and animal anatomical and soiled waste, discarded medicine, chemical waste, chemical liquid waste, and microbiological and other clinical laboratory waste have to be put in the yellow color container. Next comes to the red color. So red color container, what it have? So the waste generated from the disposal items such as waste generated from the disposal items such as tubes, bottles, intravenous tubes, and sets, uh, urine bags, syringe without needles fixed. So uh, in the yellow color container, we can see that human anatomical waste and the animal anatomical waste, soiled waste, discarded or expired medicines, chemical waste, and chemical liquid waste, and the having the clinical laboratories which are belongs to the biotechnology research. So all this will be in the yellow color containers. So if you are going for the red color container, red category, waste generated from the disposal items such as tubes, bottles, intravenous tubes and sets, cat catheters, urine bags, syringe without needles. Syringes are can be thrown without needles. Fixed needle syringe with their needles cut, and if they are already the syringe is fixed with the needles, that needle have to be removed and we have to put that syringe only in the red container. So and also gloves we have to pay. So all the which are you can see here which are recycled metals. You can see the syringe and also the tubes and the bottles, all those in the red color container. And next comes to the white container, waste shops including metals. So in the waste white container we are throwing all the sharp materials, or you can say the metals which are using the metals, those we have to thrown in the white container. So it consists of the needles, syringe with the fixed needles, and needles from the needle tip cutter, a burner, scalpels, blades, or any other contaminated sharp items, object that may cause puncture and cuts. So if you are cutting if you are cutting your body, then it requires a sharp materials. Those sharp materials all should be the metals, you can say the metals which are used in for the purpose of the um, operations. So those all have to be dumped into the white. So scissors you can say, and also scissors, and also the uh, knife, your scalpels, okay, blades, all those will come into the white container. Next comes to the blue. So in the blue, broken or discarded and contaminated glass, including the medicines. So whatever the broken materials are there, you can say the glass materials, generally the broken. So all those medicine bottles, all will be the, which are broken. So all broken contaminated glasses, if the patients, if they use that glass, so contaminated glasses including the medicines also, we will put in the blue color container. So other than that categories, um other waste will be there in the hospitals. um, what are the general waste? So general waste consists of all the waste other than the biomedical waste, so and which has not been used in contact with any hazardous or infectious. So this waste which will not contains any hazardous and infectious materials in that. So chemical or biological segregations and does not include any waste sharps. So this waste consists of mainly newspapers, paper, cardboards. So these all are dry waste. Plastic water bottles. So if in the hospitals we will get the plastic water bottles, food containers. After emptying residual food. So after eating out the food, it will be only the empty one which are completely dry, and organic biodegradable waste, mostly food waste, okay, and also it will be the wet waste also, the wasted food, and construction and demolition. So some of the hospitals have some repairs. So if any repairs are there, construction and the demolition waste are those are called as a general waste. So the general waste are further classified as the dry waste and the wet waste and should be collected separately. If it is having the wet waste, you have said biodegradable food waste. so that is having the food lefting, so or not eating the food. So those wet waste have to be put it in the separate wet box. So next comes to the other waste. General waste we have seen. Other waste. Other waste consists of used electronic waste, batteries, and radioactive waste which are not covered under biomedical waste. So other waste are nothing but the used electronic goods, whatever but the things, and also batteries, and also for radioactive waste, for X-rays or for those. Will be there. So all those under biomedical waste, but have to dispose such waste are generated as per the provisions laid down under e-waste. So if they those are there, we can send it for the e-waste. So that provision is laid for that. So here we can see in the storage, we have seen here in this yellow container, red, yellow. And here here we can see yellow, red, white, and the blue. So different, having different waste we have put it. So there we are collecting and also storing it in those places. We are collecting and storing those different containers. So it makes easy for the treatment process, and for also for collection also it make it easy. So once collection occurs, then biomedical waste is stored in a proper place. So we have collected that waste, we have to store before transportation. So in a proper place, segregated waste of different categories need to be collected and identifiable containers. So they should have some mark before the in the collection, in the storage. They will put a mark for that one so that they can think this is the waste which is coming from these yellow color bag like that. So identifiable containers, the duration of storage should not exceed 8 to 10 hours in big hospitals. If it is more than 250 hospitals are there, that waste should not be stored more than 8 to 10 hours, because they have to get the biological uh, properties will be changing on, characteristics will be changing on. So it should be disposed in 8 to 10 hours, and 24 hours in nursing homes. If it is small hospitals, we can left for 24 hours. So each container may be clearly labeled to show the ward or room where it is kept. So those, if you are the containers are divided, so that those containers are clearly labeled from which ward it is coming. So from which room it is, any you can say uh, maternity ward is some different, and for dental it will be different, and for in operation theater different wards have different rooms. So infected people having some diseases like which are infectious, so those wards or those rooms are to be labeled on that container, so that it make it easy to identify the waste which is coming. The reason for the labeling is that it may be necessary to trace the waste back to its source. So after completing, after removing, after cleaning that container, again that container have to be put it back at the same place. For that purpose, we are labeling it. So if we are removing, taking from the children's ward, will be there. For children ward, the containers will be clean, and again that container had to be put it back at the same place. So for that purpose, labeling should be done. Beside this storage area should be marked with a caution sign. So every container it should have at the storage area, it should have some caution sign, so that it is uh, um, it is it is like a storage area. It is make a caution to them, or make a uh, identification that it is a storage area. So here we can see in the collection, segregation and transportation and the storage are the uh, where we are seeing. So before in the collection we are doing the segregation first of all, and after that we are collecting it, and after that we are storing it, after that we are transported. So first five steps: segregation, collection, pre-treatment, intramural transportation, and storage. So these are the basic steps required for the biomedical waste. So is the exclusive responsibility of healthcare facilities. So segregation, collection, and treatment have to be tried, and before going to disposal and storage. Pre-treatment we are doing, pre-treatment within the hospital we are doing, and transportation and the storage is the exclusive that will look after by the healthcare facility. So while treated and disposal is primarily responsibility of CBWTF. So within the hospital, hospital, this segregation, collection, and pre-treatment was done. After that, before the disposals. So the after coming from the hospitals, that will be looked at by the treatment and the disposal will look after by the CBWTF, Common Biomedical Waste Treatment Facilities. CBWTF, Common Biomedical Waste Treatment Facility. Common Biomedical Waste Treatment Facility will look after those uh, final disposals. Also operated except for lab and highly infectious waste which is required to be pre-treated by the HCO. So all the waste will not be pre-treated. So the waste which is highly infectious waste are there. So those will be pre-treated before the final disposals. So following are the responsibility of the healthcare facilities for handling of the biomedical waste. So first, biomedical waste should be segregated at the point of generation. So where the waste is generated, there we have to segregate itself by the person who is generating the waste in the designated color coded bin or containers. So the waste generated by the person is nothing but the nurse, you can say, a sister, you can say, those who is taking care of that person have to be put it in a colored code container, so that there we have segregating it. Next, biomedical waste and general waste shall not be mixed. We have said there are three types of waste are there. First one is the biomedical waste, second one is the general waste, and fourth one is the other waste. So other waste is consists of the electronic which are used or not usable electronic goods. Those are the other waste. And in the general waste we have seen the paper and food items and the glass materials, broken glass materials, all those will come in the other waste, general waste. So a biomedical waste and the general waste shall not be mixed. So that is also put it in the separate container. Biomedical waste and the general waste shall not be mixed. Same thing. So storage time of waste should be as less as possible, so that waste storage, transportation, and disposal is done within the 48 hours. So the storage of the storage and also the transportation and the disposal should be done within the 48 hours. So if it is a big hospital, that it should be uh, throw it to 8 to 10 hours. For the nursing homes generally it is done for the 48 hours. So phase out use of chlorinated plastic bags. So if you are using for red color bags, so red color containers, so they can be chlorinated plastic bags can be used, so that excluding the blood bags. So blood bags, if you are using the blood bags, that it should not be chlorinated. Other than that, we can be chlorinated. And also the gloves which are using, those also be chlorinated plastic, we can use it. So secondary, no secondary handling of waste shall be done at HCF. So the waste should be send it out. So it should not take of second chance. If CB, common biomedical waste treated facility treatment facility is available at a distance of mm, 75 kilometers from the HCF. Biomedical waste should be treated and disposed only through the such as CBW. So if it is CBWTF is near to our hospitals, so at a distance around available of 75 kilometers, that waste treated can be disposed only only CBWTF only operators. So only laboratory and highly infectious waste. Um, Infectious waste shall be treated on-site before spending for final treatment. So, if it is coming, that waste is coming from the laboratories, and if it is infectious waste, shall be treated on-site before sending. For before going to, we already said if it is infectious waste, that it should be pre-treated before going to the final treatment. So, any disposal. So that through a CBWTF operator. So HCF will be done. Some pre-treatment healthcare facility will done. That healthcare facility is separate team, and has CBWTF operators is also a separate team. So those will be looked after by the treatment of. CBWTF operator will be looked after by the final treatment for the highly infectious waste. So here we are providing a barcoding for barcoding, and also color coded bags for our containers containing the segregating. So there we are for collection, we are making easy for by segregating the waste of biomedical waste before such waste goes for the final disposals through CBWTF. So before going to the CBWTF, we are making the process we are making the process easy by reducing the segregation, by reducing the waste uh, at the generation point only, waste generation point. So in this biomedical waste generation, so again we have segregated. So again we are seeing how it will be. So biomedical waste generated from a healthcare facility is required to be segregated at the point of generation as per the color coding. We already said that it should be segregated at the generation point only. So coding of biomedical waste management rules according to the 2016, following activities to be followed to ensure the proper wastage segregation. So how we are segregating depends upon the rules according to the biomedical waste management rules. We are segregating. So waste must be segregated at the point of generation of source and not in later stages. So the waste which was generated at that point only we have to segregate, not after mixing, and after mixing and in the latter stage it cannot be, it should not be segregate. So at the point only, at the generation point only, we have to segregate only. As defined earlier, point of generation means the location where waste initially generate. So that is the thing. Accumulate and is under the control of doctor or nursing staff. So who will uh, look after all these things? A doctor or other nurse of at the point of generation only, segregation should be done. That will look after by the doctor or the nurse of the hospital. So who is providing treatment to the patient and in the process generating of biomedical waste. So the nurse will look after or the doctor will look after. So those who are taking care of that one, they have to use these colored containers to segregate at the point of the generation only. So next, posters or placards for biomedical waste generation should be provided in all the wards as well as in the waste storage area. So we have to caution symbol. We have to provide to from those containers so that the segregation after the for the segregation containers, and also not only in the wards where the containers are there, and also at the storage areas where we are storing those mm, waste. Those areas also have to be posted. These have to be posted with the posted with the labels. So adequate number of color coded bins or containers and bags should be available at the point of generation of biomedical waste. So we at the time of the hospital hospital starting itself, we have to look after how much bags are there, colored bags are there, containers are there. Sufficient should be there. There should not be shortage in this. So adequate number have to be provided. So they have to look after. They should have the adequate number. Color coded plastic bags should be in line with the plastic waste management rules. So specifications for plastic bags and containers are given some annexure. So which specification of plastic bags and containers. So colored coded plastic bags is also given uh, for the hospitals according to the rules only. So provide personal protective equipment to the biomedical waste handling staff. So we have to take care that the waste handling staff also have the protective equipment. So like that, we already seen in the figure. Again we are seeing how it was segregating on the colors. So if you go for the yellow color, here you can see the human anatomical waste and animal anatomical waste, soil waste, discarded or expired medicines, biological and biotechnical clinical waste and the chemical waste. Like that, all will be types of waste are considered into the yellow category. So how this type of yellow color container is a non chlorinated plastic bag. So this is um, not chlorinated. So non-chlorinated plastic bags. So chemical waste comprising of non unused residual or date expired liquid chemicals, including spent hypo X-ray, should be stored in yellow containers. So in this we are storing the chemical waste also. So if it is having any date expiry liquid also, we have can put it in. We have to see. So next comes to the red category. So red category, all contaminated waste. So which are contaminated, they can be recyclable. We have said recyclable materials we can store it. So just red colored non-chlorinated plastic bags in this also we are using, having thickness equal to more than 50 microns and containers. So red color red category can be categorized as a contaminated waste which are recyclable. So white category, waste shops including the metals. So here we are storing the metals in the waste white category. So those white colored translucent puncture proof, leak proof, temper proof containers are to be used, are we are using. So the liquid, so here white category having the metal, so that's why it should be leak proof and puncture proof it is there, those proof containers are to be used. Next, blue category. In this also glassware, broken glasswares, and some of the metallic body implants. So these also puncture proof, leak proof containers are to be used with the colored marking. So these are like this, we have to be categorized. So collection. So we have till now we have segregated and we have kept it one place, segregated here. And next comes to collection. We have to collect it and we have to before going to the storage, before going to the transportation, collection and also storage we have to say. So time of collection. So when we have said that in the big hospitals 8 to 10 hours, and for the nursing homes it can take 24 hours. So overall it 48 hours it should be final disposed. So biomedical waste should be collected on daily basis from each ward of the hospitals at a fixed interval of time. So some time is fixed. So every time at that time only, every time that waste have to be removed. So there can be multiple collections from wards during the day. So from a day, within a day, they can be for 4 hours or for 6 hours. Within a day, they can be taken for 6 hours or 4 hours or 8 hours, like that. A fixed intervals of times that waste have to be removed. So multiple collections n number of times will be going on from the same ward, that waste have to be removed. So healthcare facilities should ensure collection, transportation, treatment, and disposal of biomedical waste as per biomedical waste management rules. So healthcare facilities have to be look after the collection and transportation and the treatment that and disposal, that will be as per the rules of the biomedical waste management rules. So 2000 and healthcare facility should also ensure disposal of waste, uh, human anatomical relating to the bodily structures, animal anatomical, soiled waste are to be waste within the 48 hours it should be removed off. So if it is in the yellow container should be removed within the 48 hours. So as per the rules, it should not be left for so much, should not be left. It should be the collection time, it should be within the 48 hours. So collection times should be fixed at appropriate to the quantity of waste produced in each area of the healthcare facilities. So the disposal collection time you can say, so those depends upon the hospitals quantity of waste generated. So depends upon the clinics you can say, or depends upon the hospitals, the quantity of waste produced. So by on that, HCF will look after the collection time. So every hospital will not have the same timings. They can be for one day or they can be, so depends upon the hospitals, they will fix the times. So general waste should not be collected at the same time or in the same trolley in which biomedical waste is collected. So we have seen that the general waste will be there. So the general waste will not mix with the biomedical waste, so that it should be collected in the different container collecting box. So that will not be take at the same time, so that have the different timings, so that can be taken at the different, because it can be take it for a while. So collection should be daily for most waste, with the collection time to match the pattern of waste generation during the day. So the collection you have a collection from the hospitals, of different hospitals will be taken from such a vehicle, no? So that will look after. A collection should be daily for most waste, with the collection timed to match the pattern of waste generation during the time. So the waste generated should within within the time or within those 24 hours it should be removed, so that should be matched with the collection time. So the waste generated which is in the day, that should be matched to the collection time. So that how like that we have to plan for the daily waste. General waste collection must be done immediately after the visiting hours of the healthcare facility. So after healthcare facility, we'll look after the yellow container. So after that visiting of this HCF, they have to remove the general waste after the visiting hours. So visitors coming to facilitate generate lot of general waste, and in order to avoid the accumulation of such general waste in the healthcare facilities. So the collection timings must um, enable the HCF to minimize or nullify the use of interim storage of waste in the department. So, the collection timings must be look after by the HCF to minimize the interim storage. So if you not transport it, or if you not dispose it from the hospital quickly, then that have to be stored in the hospital for a period, for a while. So that that should not be kept in the hospital, the storage play in the storage places, so that it should be removed off. So biomedical waste collected by the staff should be provided with the PPE, personal protective equipment, so that one person will be there to look after this all these equipment, and also the storage area, like everything will be looked after by the person. So in the packaging, so biomedical waste bags and sharp containers should be filled to no more than three-quarter full. So all the metallic waste have to be removed. So once this level is reached, they should be sealed, ready for collection. In the container, three-fourth of the bag in the bagging, in the packing, they have three-fourth of the container had to be filled with the short metal containers, and again it have to be sealed, and it is ready for collection. So plastic bags should never be stapled, but have be tied or sealed with a plastic tag. So they should not be stapled. Plastic bags which we are using, they have to be tied with a plastic tag itself. Replacement bags or containers should be available at each waste collection location, so that the full ones can immediately be replaced. So if one is removed, then other have to be replaced. So replacement containers have to be available at each waste collection. Color coded waste bags and containers should be printed with a biohazard symbol, labeled with details such as date, type of waste, waste quantity, sender's name, and receiver's details, as well as a barcoded label to allow them to be tracked till final disposal. So, if you're going to disposal the um, before you going to disposal the biomedical waste, it should be coded, bar coded, and also it should be labeled, and in that in the label the sender name should be there, and also the receiver details should be given, and the date also to be given, type of waste which you are sending, and also how much quantity of waste you are sending. It should, all the details have to be put it on the label, so that they can treatment can be done on that basis. So labeling, so all the bags or containers, bins are used for the collections and storage of biomedical waste must be labeled. So we already said, before going to collecting and transportation, they should be labeled. They labeled with the symbol of biohazard, uh, biohazard. Here you can see a yellow color caution, like that we have to put that label on that waste. Biomedical waste bags or containers are required to be provided with barcoded, and also we are seeing that barcode is also to be provided on the waste in our according to the CPCB common uh, public, okay, biomedical guidelines for guidelines of for bar coded system for effective management of biomedical waste, so that we can if you put the bar coded, they can there will be no problem for further treatment. So transportation, so here till now we have seen the collection. Now collection and the segregation we have done. Again we are coming to transportation. So in-house transportation of biomedical waste from site of waste generation or intermediate shortage to central waste or collection center within the premise of the hospital must be done in closed trolleys. So if you are sending for the disposal, they should be sended with the closed trolleys. So containers preferable fitted with the wheels for easy mobility. Such trolleys or carts are to be designed for the purpose of the biomedical waste. So here we can see, here this is the opened and this is the closed. Two figures we can see. So the closed one, he is not wearing any mask itself, and no personal protective clothing. He is not wearing any personal protective clothing. Also overlaid vehicle it is there, and also there is a chances of getting fall from that place. So here again one figure with blue color cart you can see here. He is taking with in a closed manner. So this is the perfect way to remove to take the collection in within the hospital and also outside the hospital. So route of transportation, so transportation also required a route. So how so biomedical waste generated from different wards or laboratories in the health care facilities must be transported in the covered, so we already said it should be transported in the covered trolleys or cars through a route which has low traffic flow of patients and visitors. So which having the low traffic route. If it is long also, we have to prefer for the low traffic route only. Route of transportation preferred to be planned in such a way that transportation does not occur through high risk areas. So if it is having having a more traffic, high risk at that area, so up and downs are there, so and also narrow area, so that type of route we should not be high risk areas. Supplies and waste are transported through separate routes. So supply waste are should be separate route should be there to the transportation. Waste is not transported through areas having high traffic of patients and visitors. So we already said if have heavy traffic is there in that area, that waste, biomedical waste are not to be support to send. Central waste collection area can be easy access through this route. So central waste collection is nothing but all the waste before going to the transportation that should be stored at one place, that is called as a central waste collection. So from multiple times we are removing that waste from the wards. So that multiple by removing all of that at that time only we cannot dispose, so that should be kept at one place. So that place is the waste collection, central waste collection. So that should that area should be easy for removing for taking that. It should be comfort to take it that waste and easy access to that route. So safe transportation of waste is undertaken to avoid the spillage and scattering of waste. So that the route should be perfectly straight, so that there is no chances of spillage of waste. See, here we can see wheelbarrow. Uh, Wheelbarrow is there above, and that waste collecting area, containers. So transport by wheeled trolleys, containers are cars only in vehicles authorized for the purpose. So they should be easy to load and unload. Okay, no sharp edges are to be used, easy to clean, and we can use these um, wheeled trolleys. So they are easy to load and unload. And in this, we cannot use the sharp edges because they will get injured. And they can be easy to cleaning and disinfect daily. Trolleys, wheelbarrows covered with the open chutes. So that should be closed ones we have to use. So we already said central waste collection room. So where it should be there. Central waste collection room for biomedical waste. Such room should be under responsibility of a designated person and should be under the lock and key. So the waste which was collected from the different wards, that should be stored or collected at one place, and that should be looked after by the person. That person had to be some designation should be there, and it is always under lock and key. So the following points may be considered for construction of central waste collection. So this is generally for the big hospitals, you can say. The location of central waste collection room must be away from the public or visitor access. So the central waste collection, it should not be within the visitor nearby to the visitor room. It should be far away from the visitor rooms. The space allocation for this room must be as per the quantity of waste generated from the hospital. So, how much big you are constructing, and uh, which type of treatment you are going to do for the patient. On that basis only, the waste will be generated. That waste generated basis only, the storage area will be decided. So the space allocation for this room must be as per the quantity of waste generated. The planned space must be sufficient so as to store at least 2 days generations of day. So waste. So the area, it should be such that the area, it should be at least that waste have to be stored for at least 2 days. The generation of waste have to be stored for the 2 days. So sufficient space, that much of sufficient space have to be planned for a room. Here, next, central waste collection room must be roofed and manned, and should be under lock and key under the responsibility of the designator. We already said that it should have a sufficient area, and also it should be properly roofed. So there should not be any leakage in that area. Flooring should be of tiles or any other glazed materials with slope, so has to ease for the cleaning. So if it is tiled or glazed materials, if we use for the floor, so that it can be easily washable, cleaning can be done easily. So that like that we have to select the flooring. Exhaust fans has to be provided for the ventilation purpose. So exhaust fans in the shall be provided in the waste collection, and also proper ventilation should be given through those central storage rooms. So it is to be ensured that healthcare facility, that such a central storage rooms is safety inspected for potential fire hazard. So we have to look after that there should not be any fire also. So fire hazard also potential, it should be protected from the fire hazard. And based on such inspection, preventive measures has to be taken. So these are the precautions has to be taken, that will be looked after by the healthcare facility. So by the healthcare facility, like installation of the fire extinguisher, smoke detector also be put. So at the same time, we have to put a signboards, so that it can indicate that it is a storage area. So relevant details such as contact person and the telephone number should be provided. So if it is the designated person who is looking after the room have his number, he should put signboard, and also have to put person contact person, and also the telephone number, so that if any fire hazard or any smoking or any thing happen, he can call, the person can call and tell to him. So the entrance of this station must be labeled with the entry for authorized personnel only. So and logo of biomedical waste should be there. So that the entrance of the station only we have to provide a one logo that that room belongs to that storage area, and also entry for the authorized person only, like that we have to put it on the uh, door, so that no one can enter into that room. So it is to be ensured that no general waste is to be stored in the central waste collection area. So we already cleared that the general waste should not be mixed with the biomedical waste. So it should be stored in a separate room. It is not mixed in the central waste collection area. So in this here we have covered about the collection, segregation, and transportation of the biomedical waste. So we have till now collection, transportation of the biomedical waste. So the collection will be done on the colored categories. So that the categories are nothing but the uh, uh, yellow color, red color, white color, and the blue color. So that yellow, red, white, and the blue, so that it is categorized or based on the which are infectious, highly infectious, um, will be stored in this yellow category. Red category is the contaminated, but which are recyclable, those will be stored in the red category. In the white category, the metals, heavy metals which are used, that will be stored in the white category. And the blue category, where broken items and the medicines can be stored in the blue category. So like these different categories we have categorized based on the biomedical waste management rules. So again, the that other than the biomedical waste in from the hospitals, we will generate the general waste. So in the general waste are nothing but those which are not hazardous, or not containing any chemicals. So the in this category we can get newspapers, plastic water bottles, and organic food in the form of wet, and also food containers which are residual waste. So construction and the demolition waste, all this comes in the general waste. So in and the third one comes as the other waste. Other waste are consists of the electronic waste, okay, and used batteries, radioactive waste, those will under all those comes under this other waste. So here we are seeing that it was different bags are using for storing purpose. So to make it further treatment easy, so we have to store differently. So this will all be looked after by the HCF healthcare facility, and again it was sent to the CBWTF. So common biomedical waste treatment facility we are sending. So those CBWTF will look after all this for final disposal. So the waste should not stored for 48 hours. It have to be we have to remove within the 48 hours. So if it is in like this, so if your CPWTF is around 75 kilometers, we can send it with that without HCF, from this HCF, and should be treated under disposal. So it can be, if it is nearby, we can directly send it without within the hours only. So we can for before going to the um, disposal, there we have to provide a barcode, labels, and a colored bags have to be labeled, and also provided the barcode, uh, and also uh, a mark have to be provided. They have to be packaged. Here we can see package have to, they have to be packaged to be done, so that again that after removing of those, we have to replace the bags again, so that the package used to be done, and also color code is to be provided, and detailed date details of details of that waste quantity, and sender names have to be put it, and which type of waste have to be given, how much quantity of waste we are sending, all those to be uh, right on the package, on the waste which we are packing. So they have to be labeled also, bar coded also we have to give. So uh, and transportation, at the transportation we are using the trolleys, so that we can move easily, and we can send it easily, because it should be closed. If it is open, there is a chance of getting of falling from the trolley, and also there will be a nuisance will be created for the patients also, well, within the hospital while taking the trolley. So it should be closed, it should be there. Here we can see the figure. So it should be closed at the time of the collecting. And here route, for the transportation, we have to take a route, so that it doesn't have any risk area, and it should not have any traffic, heavy traffic. It should be there, it should not be there, and a separate route it should be there, and the it should be easily accessible for the central waste collection, like that, that area it should be visible. So generally we will use the trolleys, wheelbarrows we will use, so that it can be easily movable. So central waste collection, we are seeing central waste collection area, it should be so that it should have a more area, can be so that it can store for 2 days, and it should be have a glazed tile, so that cleaning can be done easily, and it should be have a the door have a symbol, so that a caution should given to the others, and only the one designated person only can go through it, and will look after all those. So the central waste collection room will be have the space collection area, and it should be far away from the visitors room also, from the patients. And exhaust fans has to be provided for the collection area room, so that the proper ventilation can be done. So it is ensured by the, all this will be looked after by the HCF, so that it can be have properly checked, and we have to take care of potential high fire hazards. So, and smoking, it should have fire hazard, and also smoke detectors, fire extinguishers, and the smoke detector should be provided. We have to provide the signboard also, and at the same time, in the central waste collection, the general waste will not be mixed in those storage places. So all these we have to look after. So this is about this today topic. Thank you.